Business and Leisure, your weekly window to the world of business and guide to the good life. Hosted by Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa.
Hello to everyone. Welcome to the perfect combination of business and the good life. This is Business and Leisure, your weekly business and lifestyle electronic magazine, where we shall bring you the week's significant business developments on BizWatch, while the current leisure trends shall take center stage on the leisure section. And to host our lifestyle section, here's our sunshine girl, Zara Hernandez, to tell you what's in store this week. Zara?
Thank you so much again, Butch, for having me here. Hey guys, thank you for always tuning in here to our show, Business and Leisure. That's right, I've got more exciting features for all of you this week. And as always, we start with the latest events on Lifestyle Chronicles. That is followed by our popular segment, Places, where we have visited another delectable dining place, Bluesmith. More dining places to choose from our leisure trip, and lastly is our weekly treat for all the firearm enthusiasts out there. See, these are the reasons why you guys have to stick around as we start with the latest issues on business with our main man, Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa. Butch?
Thanks, Zara. We'll see you right after I take care of business. Before we give you our presentation this week, we shall first pause for a short break, right after which it's all business talk on BizWatch.
As a coach, you don't define yourself in terms of championships you've won. What happens beyond the trophies? You have to move forward, grow, and get better. Life is all about taking shots, and I want these kids to at least have the courage to take that shot so they can grow, learn, be compassionate, and have the heart of a champion.
Think you're tough? Do you dare to go off-road or off-key? Do you use your great power with great control? With the new Isuzu D-Max, you're tough enough to be unstoppable. And you're tough enough to be right back. Isuzu D-Max, tough enough for anything.
Welcome back to Business and Leisure and to our business section, BizWatch. For our lead issue this week, the Bureau of Internal Revenue continues to have a long list of delinquent taxpayers, both individual and corporate citizens. The Department of Budget and Management has a practical solution to this continuing problem. Our business reporter Heidi Santos has the story.
Budget Secretary Benjamin Jokno has raised the possibility of granting a general tax amnesty to delinquent individuals and corporations who have outstanding tax liabilities. With a general amnesty, these individuals and corporations may be allowed to settle their obligations without fear of criminal charges. This comes in the heels of the multi-million tax settlement of cigarette firm Mighty Corporation. The government under the Duterte administration has demonstrated its capability to run after individuals and companies with huge tax liabilities. Because of this, Budget Secretary Ben Jokno, in his talk before the Economic Society annual meeting, said that this is perhaps the best time to consider granting a general tax amnesty.
Actually, there is already a pending proposal in Congress for the granting of another tax amnesty filed by Senator Ralph Recto. Senate Bill 920 seeks to cover all national internal revenue taxes for 2015 and prior to that year, with or without tax assessments. The proposed tax amnesty, however, will not cover those with pending cases of unexplained or unlawfully acquired wealth. It also does not cover those charged with anti-graft and corrupt practices and violators of the anti-money laundering law. Our BizWatch correspondent has more of the story.
Budget Secretary Jokno's tax amnesty proposal could run for a period of 1 year. However, those who avail of the amnesty program within 3 to 6 months may also get higher discounts from the government. The problem with all of these is Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez's position to lift the country's bank secrecy policies before there is any talk of a tax amnesty program. The Finance Secretary said that lifting the long-standing bank secrecy law will boost taxpayers' compliance. Secretary Dominguez also said that the government is fully capable of collecting delinquent taxes as it has proven recently, so granting a tax amnesty at this point may be unnecessary. With regards to his position of lifting the bank secrecy law, the Finance Secretary said that this could unlock billions of pesos kept secret from government authorities. The Philippines joins Switzerland and Lebanon as the only countries with a bank secrecy law. However, the Philippines and Lebanon are the only two countries in the world where tax evasion is not a predicate crime in anti-money laundering activities.
Granting a general tax amnesty could expand the tax base tremendously. However, just lifting the bank secrecy law, according to Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III, could increase our national coffers by at least 300 billion pesos. Meanwhile, the Duterte government's Build infrastructure program is going full steam ahead. Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez III announced that the administration is open to teaming up with the private sector on big infrastructure projects under the program. Here's our BizWatch correspondent Andre Ko with the details.
Public-private partnerships, or PPP, and joint ventures are welcome now that the Duterte administration is going ahead with the Build program. Finance Secretary held talks with the country's top business leaders and assured them that the present administration is keen on continuing the PPP to ensure the fast rollout of big-ticket infrastructure projects. However, it is not keen on granting government subsidies or guarantees in these public-private programs for unsolicited proposals. On the other hand, for solicited proposals, public-private programs should follow the 50% limit of government undertakings on total project cost.
The Finance Secretary assured the country's top businessmen that the Build program does not in any way want to exclude the private sector in taking part in the big-ticket infra projects. The government would still need private contractors to implement the projects. Among the government leaders present in a meeting were Budget Secretary Diokno, Socioeconomic Planner Pernia, Transportation Secretary Tugade, Public Works Secretary Villar, and BCDA Secretary Dizon. More details from our BizWatch correspondent.
The business leaders present include Leonidas Virata, Joey Concepcion, and representatives from Aboitiz Equity Ventures, Ayala Corporation, Citadel Holdings, LT Group, Philinvest Corporation, JG Summit Holdings, Megawide Corporation, Megaworld, First Gas Corporation, and Metro Pacific Investments Corporation. What is important to note is that for unsolicited proposals, the project should involve a novel concept or technology and should not be part of the government's priority projects. They are also subject to the Swiss challenge or comparative bidding. In this case, the original bidder has the right to match the subsequent offers of other proponents for the same project.
There are solicited and unsolicited proposals that can be considered in the government's ambitious infrastructure projects. The unsolicited proposals are where the government can save from providing subsidies or guarantees. We will now take a short break but be back shortly with more current and relevant business issues for you. Please stay with us.
When you sweat to be sweet and you clean par seat, it's love. When you try to look cool but you look like a fool, it's love. It's love. It's the new features of the all-new Innova. Love the journey.
Autofocus is the automobile show on Solar Sports every Thursday evening at 10 o'clock. That's exclusively about the automobile and the automotive industry. Autofocus, the Philippine motor show on television, features car reviews, head-to-head comparisons of different automobile models available in the market, as well as the latest auto industry news and developments. It also spotlights the latest car models from around the world and everything else you need to know about the automobile. Autofocus airs every Thursday evening at 10 o'clock with veteran TV host and Philippine Star motoring columnist Ray Butch Gamboa here on Solar Sports.
Happiness. Happiness times 7. The all-new Honda Mobilio. Ease of use, flexible interior for your various needs, convenient features, advanced technology, powerful engine, fuel efficient for a smooth journey, and sleek design for you. The all-new Honda Mobilio.
Welcome back. You're still on Business and Leisure as we continue with more business developments here on BizWatch. For this next business issue, by January 2018, the initial operations of the Overseas Filipino Bank, or the OFB, will proceed. This was the assurance given by Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez as he announced that the Bangko Sentral will release all the approvals from the clearing institutions involved before the end of 2017. Our BizWatch correspondent Heidi Santos files this report.
BSP Governor Nestor Espinilla Jr. said that the Monetary Board and the Bangko Sentral will release the requisite approvals before the year ends. The Overseas Filipino Bank used to be the Philippine Postal Savings Bank until the Bankrupt Savings Bank was acquired by the Land Bank. According to Finance Secretary Dominguez, the Overseas Filipino Bank will cater mostly to the Filipino migrant workers, but also to all overseas-based Filipinos that include immigrants to other countries. It will also be a subsidiary of Land Bank, one of the top banks in the country insofar as assets are concerned. Last September 28, the President ordered the Philippine Postal Corporation and the Bureau of Treasury to transfer their Philippine Postal Savings Bank shares to Land Bank at zero value.
This development comes as the fulfillment of President Duterte's campaign promise to provide a financial institution dedicated to the needs of all overseas Filipinos. And now for our final business issue this week, the government is now making headway as it works on a formula to incentivize the deployment of renewable energy technologies along off-grid domains through the Renewable Portfolio Standard System. This was announced by the Department of Energy. Andre Ko, our business reporter, has the details.
The deployment of renewable energy technologies is leveraged on the policy recommendation being sorted out by the National Renewable Energy Board. However, there is a bit of a problem here. Making the renewable portfolio standards viable in areas that are suffering from intermittent power supply and on a very limited scale is a big challenge for the Department of Energy. The DOE will have to study the renewable energy technologies seriously because of its impact on the propounded installations, especially on off-grid sites. These off-grid areas are those in the islands, mountains, and far-flung areas. With the Renewable Portfolio Standard System, the power generators and utilities will need to source prescribed percentage of their supply portfolio from renewable energy generating sources. However, the DOE Secretary admits that, quote, the proposed RPS rules for off-grid areas will contribute to the growth of the renewable industry through increased development and utilization of RE in the countryside where a significant percentage are using expensive fuels, unquote. The off-grid areas have traditionally relied on fossil-fired power generation. With the development and utilization of renewable energy, the government can diversify its energy supply in the countryside. Among the vital issues up for discussion are pricing, competitive selection, process and public bidding, long-term plans and programs, technology options, capacity transmission and permits, among others.
There are a lot of unresolved issues involved here. At the very least, Energy Secretary Alfonso J. Cusi is hoping to address the power supply interruptions in off-grid areas which come too often. Addressing this problem will spur economic developments in these areas and make life more comfortable for the people living there. We shall pause for a short break, and when we come back, we have our corporate profile segment. Please stay with us.
Teng, ang package.
Ma'am, sabi ng Air 21 on the road na.
Ano, Teng? Ang package.
Ma'am, sabi ng Air 21 na receive na.
Okay, very good.
Basta padala, sagot ka ng Air 21. May real-time delivery updates via text para worry-free ka.
Teng, ang package, napadala mo na?
Yes, ma'am. Sa Air 21.
Sa Air 21, sagot ko, padala mo.
Your weekly window to the world of business and guide to the good life can now be watched online. Just click on businessandleisure.ph and watch this week's show and other past episodes of Business and Leisure at your most convenient time of the day. Business and Leisure is now on the web. Watch it anytime.
Welcome back. You're still on the business section of Business and Leisure. Up next is our corporate profile segment. This week on Corporate Profile, we trace the roots of a company that was truly modest in every sense of the word. The business owner never stopped working on developing his business until it has grown big and global. Watch this.
Mr. Ray Lapid is from the famous Chicharon clan of the Lapids. The clan has had numerous offshoots in the Lapid Chicharon business, but it was Ray who made it big and whose name became synonymous with good Chicharon. His company is named after him, R. Lapid's Chicharon and Barbecue. Ray, the man behind the name, is a raconteur, and from him we learned how they started so modestly with only Ray and his wife buying, cooking, packing the chicharon, and selling the simply packaged bags of chicharon everywhere. Now his children are all grown and he has expanded his business exponentially.
Well, the time because all my children is supporting me. Kasi ako, nangyayari sa akin, so many challenges na dumarating na business eh. Yung bang, when I feel somebody ask me to do business, hindi ko naman sinasabi kaagad na it's okay to me. I have to study it. When I feel myself, sa feelings ko, that's good. So, ginagawa ko yun. But before I do that, I have to study. Because right now, besides our lapid chicharon, I also have Kingston Trading in metal fabrication. That is, yun mismo ang gumagawa ng mga cart ko, ng kiosk, and some improvement. This building, I'm also the one design this. And yung mga lutuan, ako rin ang nako-concentrate na gumawa, mag-design. So, lagi kong namang ginagawa what is the best what is the best thing to do is always study it and you must do it.
Their first processing plant was in Manila back in the early 80s. He rented 2 of the 12-unit row of apartments as his makeshift processing plant. Before long, he was already renting 11 of the 12 units, some of which housed his employees.
Sa expansion ko, kasi I also have to rent yung mga workers ko where they will stay. Naging ano ko rin yun, parang din na which is, some of them are my brothers. And so many, in high school, doon ako nagpo-process. Pero I'm just renting. Pero nung time na which is nangyari sa akin una sa Quiapo, biglang tinaas yung upa, hindi ako nasisiyahan ng gano'n, para bang yung hirap ko sa kanila napupunta eh.
This is indeed one of the woes of startups. Because the business is just starting out small, there is usually no permanent assets to speak of, and renting is the only option. Being tenants, they are usually at the mercy of the landlords.
Naging challenge sa akin with the support of the bank to buy some lot, vacant lot. I did it myself also. I have to travel using my jeep, ordinary jeep, na maghanap ng pwesto. Ito, nakita kong pwesto, which is vacant lot. Dati lang tong farm eh. Well, I'm doing myself. I don't know, so many challenges to me. Malakas ang loob. I trust myself na you can do that. So, when I bought this, I also talked some foreigner, what is the best idea, best design. They're just saying some must be ganun. Then, nasa isipan ko na yun, I'm the one doing myself drawing and design. Then after that, always, in short, you must plan it really good with the support of mga we have good experience regarding that processing plant. Yun ang ginagawa ko para magawa mo the best.
From 2 large cooking vats, or what we call kawa in the vernacular, Ray knows that he has almost 40 of these giant kawas now currently in use in his large processing plant, in a building which he already owns, in an area where he keeps expanding his permanent assets.
I started this one 2003, 2004 na. Doon ako muna na-concentrate sa nagtahan nga. Then yung talagang I need expansion, I have to put this one. Only I bought this about 1,200 square meter. Now it's 8,000 square meter, the same area. Nagkataon kasi puro vacant. Dito, in this area, ako unang-unang nagtayo rito. Dati ito, Palayan, Bukid. Besides that 50 kawa, I'm now expanding for 16 na ibang kawa na. Iba na ang not ordinary LPG. We call it biogas.
And this is the giant chicharon that he is talking about. From this short piece of meat, it grows to this long haul chicharon, a novelty item ideal for get-togethers. Because he is in the food business that involves frozen meat, there is always a need for cold storage facilities. But Ray has learned his lesson about renting. Now that the company can well afford it, he has built his own cold storage so he does not depend on other facilities, much less rent space from them. He also continuously upgrades his facilities.
Then machine for cutting. Then sa ngayon ganun pa lang. Pero sa expansion ko, gusto ko automated na lahat na sistema ng packaging, ng processing. Right now, I have automatic packaging here for to export. In bago na yon, bagong packaging na they call it metallized packaging. Nga pala, kasi nasa expansion na ako, I changed the name. I'm trying to change the name of Chicharon. Chicharon is very popular only for Filipinos. Now I changed the name Manila Fries. You have that, we can show you samples. Because very popular in the world, French fries. So sabi nga myself, why not you do something about your product very international, maging international known. So I did it, Manila Fries, which is in short Chicharon.
From his modest start, Ray now has 100 outlets, 85 of which are company-owned and the rest as franchises. He supplies pork to many other companies, and because he already has 400 employees and counting as of now, he has decided to build a condo building for his growing crew.
Also doing a mini mart. So, because I have so many employees here, yung iba naman gusto bumili ng mga wholesale. Nag-open ako dito. They have a big discount if you are a distributor. Kasi nangyayari dito sa ngayon, marami bumibili nung ready to pop, very cheap. They're the one popping it abroad or some small area here in the Philippines. They can change the name, whatever the name they need, but my products from Arlapids. So that's good sharing for me as another businessman, which is ongoing right now.
From his standard flavor, he has added the popular chili flavor as well. He now has 6 variants of his chicharon.
Isa lang namang yung flavor niyan. Yung dati kong tinatawag na classic or standard. Ngayon meron na akong hot ingredient. I just add the chili powder. Yun lang naman sa ngayon. Yun lang ang flavor ko. Then yung kaya itong meron may laman which is with fat. Then a cocktail with all skin, no fat. Then yung bilogs, merong small fat. Then I also have bits, chicharong bits, yung parang popcorn. Then chicharong bulaklak, chicharong bituka. Yeah. Now about 6 kind of products.
When he started expanding his business, he discovered a good source of pork skin from South Korea. Ray makes sure he visits and inspects the processing plants of his suppliers.
Right now, USA, then after US, Canada. Now, concentrate ako rito sa Europe, which is Germany, Spain, and Belgium. Yeah.
The condominium he is building has a total of 60 units, which his employees can rent to own with help from a government agency, Pag-ibig.
For me, it's very important to support your employees and must have a really good relationship with them. Since lagi ko sinasabi sa kanila, without your support, hindi mangyayari itong expansion ko. So, the best thing is must good relationship with supporting each other. Ganun na lang. Concentrate on that. Sabi ko, we are considering you as partner.
His processing plant now is modern, very clean, and very efficient. Soon, it will become more modernized and automated. But for now, Ray already has a big edge over his competitors. He also has other involvements. Right now, he sits as a director of the Manila chapter of the Philippine Red Cross and is a member of the Lions Club of Sampaloc. He is also a member of the PhilConsa, the Philippine Constitutional Assembly.
For me, it's very important para naman marami kang knowledge about why they become big. Here, the project of our government, which is Go Negosyo, share with the DTI. for me, it's really good support how to help your support your business.
And notwithstanding the many decades he has put into his growing business, Ray continues to expand into other areas.
Sa ngayon, ang dami kong nagiging challenge. You know, one of the biggest hog growers in the world, now my partner, which is CPF company. Now I have a hog racer in Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. I built their, naging partner ng CP from Thailand. Imagine that company they started in Thailand. Now they have all over the world. In Brazil, USA, here in Asia, halos lahat. Imagine I'm the very first partner here in the Philippines to be a hog. They call it hog grower. And when I built it, now they have 2,400 heads of pig to grow it, to palakihin. Then sila naman nagmamarket. Now I'm at the stage of expansion it because now we have a good relationship with that big company. They challenge me to expand. So I trust them. Lagi ususundin ko ang sinasabi nila because big company sila, it's not ordinary. So you have to follow what their rulings and trust them. Of course, you have to trust them because they trust me.
Soon, he is looking at 10,600 heads and still counting.
In God we trust.
What you just saw was our feature this week on Corporate Profile, our Lapid Chicharon and Barbecue. That ends the business section of BNL. Our sunshine girl, Zaira Hernandez, is all set to usher in the leisure portion of our show, which is coming right up after we pause for another short break. We'll be right back.
Motoring Today is now on the web. Watch this episode or other past episodes of the country's longest running motoring program any time of the day by logging on to our website, motoringtoday.ph. Motoring Today is now online, just a click away.
You're still with us here on Business and Leisure, and now we go right on to the lifestyle section as I turn you over to our co-host this week, Sunshine Girl Zaira Hernandez, for our leisure report. It's all yours, Zaira.
Thanks, Butch, for keeping us in the loop with the hottest issues on BizWatch. Hey everyone, it's now time to put the spotlight on the less serious side of things, and that is the lifestyle section. We start right away with Lifestyle Chronicles.
The awarding ceremony for the Autofocus People's Choice Awards, or AFP-CA 2017, was recently held at the Valle Verde Country Club's Grand Ballroom. The event was attended by top executives and officials of the local auto industry and select members of the motoring media. The AFP-CA, organized and undertaken by STV since 2005, is an annual public poll that aims to determine the country's most popular automobile brands and models. The AFP-CA scoring methodology yields Model of the Year awardees in 12 standard and 10 premium luxury classifications, and the Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories from over 180 models in a 2017 AFP-CA official entry list. For the third year, the Toyota Fortuner won 2017 Automobile of the Year in standard category. The rare and unique 3 feet, only the second such achievement in the 13-year run of the AFP-CA, lifted the Fortuner into the AFP-CA Hall of Fame for 3-time Automobile of the Year titleists.
We're very happy. Toyota Motor Philippines is very happy for garnering so much awards for this year's Media Choice Awards and People's Choice Awards. I believe not just because of sales, but also Toyota's quality, durability, and reliability. Also our strong dealer network, which was able to make our Toyota products more accessible, more attractive to our customers. It's an enjoyable, fun activity. Congratulations to STV, to Mr. Ray Butch Gamboa for hosting such an activity. It's a culminating night for the touring industry.
Meanwhile, in the premium luxury category, the Lexus RX 350 won with an accounted score of 1,569.9 points. It also emerged as a 2017-2018 mid-size SUV crossover of the year.
Well, we were overwhelmed with the different categories na awards, and we'd like to thank, of course, Mr. Butch Gamboa. We are very happy and we are honored. We earned this since back-to-back now, since last year, so we're very proud and we're very happy, and I think that speaks for itself now, our Lexus products. So we are gaining more customers every year, and for this year alone we will be making the record sales for Lexus. So we'd like to thank all watching on the confidence of our Lexus products. So once again, thank you very much to all, most especially to Butch Gamboa.
Shrimp Bucket, one of the most loved seafood restaurants in the metro, recently invited select members of Lifestyle Media to an intimate dinner and treated them with their popular bags by the pound in different flavors: Mardi Gras, Salty Experience, and Coco Sol. Shrimp Bucket is also happy to share their journey for 5 years that they are in operation, having 7 Shrimp Bucket branches nationwide. They are also excited to announce what's in store for Shrimp Bucket for the coming days.
Shrimp Bucket is celebrating its 5th year anniversary. We're just preparing for the introduction of our new dips, and I'd like to invite everybody also and be aware that there's going to be a celebration on December 9 at BGC.
Marco Polo Ortigas invited cuisine expert and guest Chef Billy Chong to share his famous roasted goose recipe to select media at the authentic Cantonese restaurant Lung Hin. Chef Chong exclusively shared his famous roasted goose recipe. The staple roast goose has been adored by many. Geese were marinated in a charcoal furnace at high temperature, creating that crispy skin and divinely tender and flavorful flesh. This classic trademark of the traditional cuisine truly brings quality at every bite. Chef Chong was born in Macau to a family of connoisseurs in Guangdong province with over 40 years of vast experience in the hospitality and culinary industry.
First of all, we had to marinate the goose for overnight, and then coating of the sugar syrup for at least about 10 hours to make a perfect, crispy, soft skin. And then roasting just for about 45 minutes to 1 hour. It depends on the size of the goose. So afterwards, cutting also is lots of the technique.
More exclusive parties are lined up for you guys, so always tune in only here on Lifestyle Chronicles. Moving on now to our popular segment, Places, where we never get tired of roaming around the different sides of the metro and see what we can discover for your next food trip. This time around, we find ourselves in the heart of Makati City. Let's watch this.
Miguel Francisco Macaalay is partner and operations manager of Bluesmith Coffee and Kitchen at Greenbelt 3 in Makati. Miguel graduated from Ateneo de Manila University with a degree in business management, focusing on entrepreneurship, and confesses that he was inspired by his professors who were all business-minded. Immediately after graduation, he immersed himself in a business that is all about his passion, coffee and food.
Ever since I can remember, I have always been a fan of food. And then right after that, during the college days and even after college days, I got into coffee. And right now, Bluesmith Coffee and Kitchen is actually a marriage of the two. So we do serve both food and coffee, both of which I love very much.
Bluesmith Coffee and Kitchen is a partnership with the Martin Lorenzo Group, who owned and ran the long-running Pancake House before the brand was sold to the Maxis Group and Miguel's family. Miguel is totally hands-on with his joint venture with the Lorenzo Group, and he embraces the idea behind this coffee shop and kitchen fully.
In building a restaurant that focuses on both food and coffee, we aim to be artisans ourselves. And what perfect way to embody an artisan but with a smith who forges something raw into something refined, like a blacksmith or a swordsmith. So that's what we do here, or at least that's what we aim to do. We aim to turn raw ingredients into little pieces of artistic work, whether it be food or coffee. But when you mention smith, the first thing that comes into your mind is a smith is someone who's rugged, right? Not necessarily very hard to reach, very grounded and down to earth. So that's also what we aim to serve here in Bluesmith. We want to be artisan, yet not alien to our people. We want to be artisan, but then still feel close to the market, and the market will not get intimidated by what we do.
This Greenbelt branch is actually their third. They put up their first one in Pasong Tamo a year and a half ago, a largely business area that many will think is an unlikely place for a coffee shop come kitchen.
The first branch was actually very well received. We were surprised ourselves. It's funny because when we built Bluesmith there in Pasong Tamo around a year and a half ago, Pasong Tamo was not known for restaurants. There were a lot of office buildings, very few BPOs, and there are even factories there, car factories, pharmaceutical factories. So it's not necessarily the best place to build a restaurant, but that actually was a positive. That was actually positive. It was actually good, simply because there was already a big population in Pasong Tamo, but with very little options for food and dining.
Each branch of Bluesmith has its own character and ambiance, but one of the things that makes their Greenbelt branch a little different is their artisanal cocktails.
The nice thing about Greenbelt is that it's established, but then again, there is already the move for newer concepts. So that's actually what Greenbelt is doing right now. It's innovating, it's doing major renovation works, and part of their endeavor to make the mall once again relevant to the market, especially the growing millennial base, is to introduce new concepts that are geared towards more of the specialty and artisan.
That seems to work perfectly for Bluesmith. Miguel says they aim to make Bluesmith the go-to place at Greenbelt, the destination for people who love to get together in a quiet yet dynamic place to enjoy good coffee and good comfort food.
When we developed Bluesmith, it has always been the middle ground between the everyday and the special. If you see our price point in our food offerings, it's not expensive, but then again, it's not fast food type. Therefore, we aim to be the everyday food that is comforting yet different. The type of restaurant that when you and your group of friends go out but you can't decide where to eat, Bluesmith will always be your default place to go to.
All Bluesmith branches can accommodate about 60 comfortably. Here they have a bar type of seating like the other branches, as well as outside seating. Inside this well-appointed and tastefully designed restaurant, they seem to have brought the sunshine in. It is well lighted but muted softly, perfect for conversations over good coffee and great food to go with it. The experienced baristas certainly know their coffee, which they make from step up, from the grinding of the beans to the artfully presented cup.
Of course, our menu will have ever-changing items. We constantly introduce new items for both specialty coffee and comfort food, so that each and every visit will be exciting to our customers.
This we intend to see, and we invite our loyal viewers to share the table with us.
We're featuring now some of our best sellers in Bluesmith Coffee and Kitchen. One of the best seller waffles is our dark choco churro waffle. It's a mix between churros and waffles, so it has that crunch with dark chocolate inside.
Churro lovers can enjoy the mild crunch, while chocolate lovers will definitely love the dark Belgian chocolate that oozes out of this churro waffle.
This is our Ube Dream Waffle, and there are a lot of ube lovers out there, myself being one. It is a Belgian waffle with ube halaya ice cream, ube ganache, and a lot of whipped cream.
This is a Filipino take on a traditional favorite that is ubeng halaya transformed into a delicious waffle.
We also feature here our pesto pasta, but served with country fried steak on the side. It's steak but fried like a fried chicken, so it's very crunchy but tender.
What is a coffee shop without a pasta dish? But then again, where else will you find a pasta dish that boasts of fried steak on the side?
We have here the Wagyu burger steak. Everyone loves the classic burger steak from their childhood, but this one is elevated because we use our homemade milk gravy and Wagyu beef topped with caramelized onions and served with egg.
Again, everyone seems to have a burger steak on the menu, so it's up to you to find your kind of burger steak. But does everyone offer a Wagyu burger?
We have here our salted egg chicken. So everyone also has, it has also been a craze to have salted egg nowadays, and this is our twist on that. So it's fried chicken but with the salted egg gravy.
And there lies the difference in the salted egg gravy. They use red rice for this plate, which, says Miguel, goes very well with the chicken. And now for the drinks in the house.
Right here we have two of our coffee beverages, a hot and an iced latte, both of which are very much balanced. And at the end here we have two of our best-selling cocktails, the Bluesmith Gin Tonic and the Tribute to Basi Revolt. Noteworthy that actually we use the Ilocano Basi as an alcohol here because we also want to show our customers that we don't need to use expensive and imported liquor to have good artisanal cocktails.
And this is the overview of a table full of Bluesmith specialties, a special culinary treat that any group worth its salt will want to have.
We designed our menu to be everything to be single served, but We also have generous proportions, so if you're not that hungry, one item can be shared by 2 or even 3 people. Price ranges, our waffles are around 260 pesos, our pesto pastas around 390, and our Wagyu burger steak, which is one of our more premium items, is priced at 410 pesos. Our cocktails also go from 190 to 290 pesos, and our our coffee ranges from 100 for an espresso shot to 170 for our frappes. Hi, check us out, Bluesmith Coffee and Kitchen in Greenbelt 3. Bluesmith Coffee and Kitchen serves all-day comfort food and specialty coffee. Check us out in Pasong Tamo, Ayala Mall sa 30th, and Greenbelt 3. Or check us also on Instagram, that's at BluesmithCK.
And that was our latest discovery on Places, the Bluesmith. You guys know where to bring your family and your friends on your next food trip. It's Leisure Trip and Sport Shoot coming right up after a quick break. I'll be back shortly, so stay stuck.
Think you're tough? Do you dare to go off-road or off-key? Do you use your great power with great control? With the new Isuzu D-Max, you're tough enough to be unstoppable. And you're tough enough to be right back. Isuzu D-Max, tough enough for anything.
Motoring Today, the longest-running motoring program on Philippine television, now airs Sundays at 10 o'clock in the evening here on Solar Sports. Join motoring legend Ray Butch Gamboa for a full hour of the latest news and issues regarding the country's transportation and traffic management, motorsports, the auto industry, and anything and everything about motoring, including vehicle maintenance and road safety. Motoring Today, your Sunday viewing habit for 30 years now, airs at 10 o'clock in the evening.
Happy motoring.
Calling all automobile enthusiasts. Autofocus.com.ph is exclusive to the automobile, where you'll find reviews on the latest brand new car models, together with their head-to-head comparisons. It has the detailed specs of car models available in the country and their latest SRPs and special promos, together with the latest auto industry news and developments like car launches and test drives. Autofocus.com.ph is all about automobiles. Click on.
Beauty and wellness should never be compromised. Ness Astilia at Shaw Boulevard. Libertad Street. And Del Monte Avenue, Quezon City. Ness Astilia, the complete beauty consultant.
What's your front page?
This is my front page. This is my front page.
This is my front page. This is my front page.
The Philippine Star. What's your front page?
Hi everyone, you're still with me, Sarah Hernandez, and right now are our recommended dining destinations. Let's all take a closer look.
Here now is our weekly list of highly recommended leisure destinations. Be it fine dining, romantic garden wedding, or a relaxed meal of excellent dishes, the name Ilustrado comes to mind. It's one of the few places that serve the best paella in town. Ilustrado, located within the walled city of Intramuros. The Highlands Prime Steakhouse is indeed the prime dining destination where you can enjoy the best of prime steak. The Highland Prime Steakhouse serves nothing but U.S. Angus prime beef. And the Highlands Prime Steakhouse also serves an array of prime gourmet dishes like the squid ink pasta, topped with a whole prawn of their delectable sea bass that's always juicy and served with mashed potato and a wedge of lemon. And their breads and cakes are baked fresh every day. The Highlands Prime Steakhouse is at the SM Mall of Asia, and that's where you should have your next lunch, dinner, or intimate party.
Steak lovers from north of the metro can also enjoy the juiciest prime steaks and other mouth-watering dishes at Highlands Prime Steakhouse, located at Estancia, Capitol Commons in Pasig.
And that's our regular What to Enjoy and Where to Go list. Business and Leisure's weekly guide to destinations and places to go to enjoy the good life.
Those dining places are highly recommended, I guarantee you. But it's about time to wrap up our show for tonight. But let's see first what is in store for Sports Shoot this week. Let's all find out.
Sports Shoot is brought to you by Rock Island Armory, manufactured by Arms Corps Global Defense Incorporated.
Welcome to Sports Shoot. This is a leisure segment for the gun enthusiast. This week we feature another outstanding handgun, the TriStar T120 9mm. If you're familiar with the CZ75, designed in Czechoslovakia back in the 70s when it was still Soviet occupied, this is the Turkish-made version of that handgun. It is manufactured by TriStar Sporting Arms. This is a hammer-fired, recoil-operated, semi-automatic 9mm handgun. The new TriStar T120 has a slide and barrel made of forged steel over a lighter aluminum frame that measures 4.7 inches. The overall length is 8.2 inches, while the width is 1.35 inches. Overall height is 5.05 inches. It has a capacity of 17 plus 1 rounds. This handgun has fixed black sights and it has black polymer or checkered grips. The trigger is 13 pounds for double action or 6 pounds for single action. In the US, it retails for $500. On the range, loading was never a problem, and the gun locked open when the magazine was empty. For accuracy, the experts had variable results depending on the ammunition used. But overall, the T120 had admirable accuracy. The verdict for the T120? It is a solid performer and very suitable for everyday carry. That was the TriStar T120, our featured handgun this week on Sports Shoot. And that's Sports Shoot, Business and Leisure segment for the gun enthusiast.
Sports Shoot is brought to you by Rock Island Armory, manufactured by Arms Corps Global Defense Incorporated.
Another remarkable firearm, don't you think? It's been another exciting and fun edition of Business and Leisure, and there are a lot more to show you guys next week, so don't forget to come back and join us, okay? It's always a pleasure to be your co-host every week, and I will definitely be back again. See you next time, Butch.
Thanks, Zara, for another exciting and engaging edition of the Leisure Report. And with that, we end another edition of Business and Leisure. Thank you for staying with us. Also, don't forget to follow us in our social media accounts. Till the next time, this has been your host, Ray Butch Gamboa. Good business to all and enjoy the good life.